So our second breakout room is completed. I want to say thank you to our mentors who were in there to assist with the design, all of our ET staff engineers who were here for the day. But it's time. It's wrap up time. I'm going to pass this off to Milton, but I think I prepped you all. Teachers, get those students to the cameras, get those groups ready to present. We want to see these things live right now. So Milton, go ahead, take it away.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You all have been killing it today. I've already had to take just a couple snapshots. I mean, look at those awesome lessons learned. Look at Banneker High School. They went from failure to just wonderful awesomeness of a rocket that launched and took over the game. This is our wrap-up session. And like Monica said, it's all about you. You all have been killing it a breakout session, and we just want to praise on you for all the things that you've done. And before we jump in, this is my last Slido of the day. I want to know what you enjoyed most about this lab. What did you enjoy most about this lab? What did you enjoy most? Let me check the chat as well, just in case. Jump in the chat. Awesome. Hey, you all don't just type, you don't have to just send it to me. Send it to some other folks.
Yeah, in my chat, I have the Tomahawk High School. They are having a working lunch right now, but all their balloons pop.
Oh, wow. Oh, sheesh.
So we have a mission failure, we'll say. And then we have also Thomas County, that lovely teacher with the ladder that Constance was just hyping up. They're going to lunch too. So we have a couple of breaks, but let's see if anybody else is going to pop in the chat.
Well, if you all go to lunch, grab us something as well. We are hungry, man. We are ready to eat. I see a few people ready to type in. Yeah, Thomas County said kids are at lunch. I love mac and cheese. You can bring that back. The balloons popping and my classmates screaming. That's right. That's good. Collaborating. I love the activity. Oh, thanks. Good. The flexibility to return to. Oh, nice. Good. Mentors are awesome. Ooh, shout out the mentors. Very nice. The teamwork, collaboration. Excellent. Very, very nice. I think we're getting ready, Monica. I think we're getting close. Making it go up. It's got to go up. That's right. Lifting off into the universe. Excellent. Great engagement. They used 3 balloons and launched all the paper clips. We got to see that. We got to see that. Somebody loves Gen Z. All right. That's good. All right, cool. Somebody was on fire. All right, great. Good. All right. Every time they failed, they learned another lesson. Nice. Very good. Every time we failed, we learned another lesson to be able to build the perfect. Oh, hey, I'm not mad at that. Shout out, Latinas. Let's do it. Okay. Well, this was excellent. And let me stop sharing. And now it's all about you all. It is all about you. Which team would love to show off their design? Which team would love to show off their design? Who's up
movement
first?
at cameras. I see a camera in Duval where Christy McKenzie's name is. Is that team ready to roll, Christy? There's a couple of Duvals that I'm not sure. Oh, here, Norfolk Technical High School. I'm going to spotlight you for everybody. They came right to the camera.
Hey, all right, look, we can't go to camera.
Hey.
You can hear us now? Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. Back up, right? They can see it, right? Okay. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, they can see they see the blue, yeah. Okay. Okay. What am I supposed to say? You need to just show your rocket.
Yeah, just what worked well, what didn't work, and then show it off, man. Launch it. Beautiful design.
Oh, thanks.
How'd you come up with this cool design, sir?
Do you know about the figure Kakulcon?
I do not.
He revealed it to me, so I was able to first playing out his design of what he revealed. Okay, this worked the first time. This should now. It's twisted.
Oh, nice. There you go. Okay, cool. Now, did you have that attached to a fishing line, or did you just launch it freeform?
The table.
Okay, all right. Great job, Norfolk Technical Center. Very nice.
Thomas County, we've got one to show off.
Oh, I'm going to spotlight you right now. I thought they were at lunch.
Well, some of them came back a little early.
There we go.
Love it.
Yeah, so, all right. So this is Cody and Dylan. So you want to tell them about your rocket?
It's got 3 of the small ones on here, because we popped all the big ones. So we don't have any of those left. So.
All right, so this is for the horizontal test.
Nice. We finally got a horizontal.
Okay. So come over
Nice.
here. I'll hold the string
I
and.
don't know this, I don't know if the straw is gonna stay.
We'll find out.
Just there.
Okay, ready?
Uh,
Are you launching all three?
And I'm just happy you're trying. I'm just happy you're trying.
you do all day?
All right, we're getting ready.
Wait.
I'm gonna lift the string just a little bit.
Yeah.
And we have fight gravity. Okay, you guys
Looks
ready?
like they have some fancy clamps. Very nice.
All right.
Fancy,
Well, you guys-
smashy.
All right, 3, 2, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
2, 1.
Cool. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Almost there. That was good. Great job. Hey, first ever that I've seen with Engineering Tomorrow, a horizontal launch. Great job. Very nice.
It would have made it just right there. Green one did.
I have a
Excellent.
question. Did this group get to do a vertical launch as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
we were doing those during the earlier breakout session. So I think all the groups did their vertical. Now some were just waiting to do their horizontal.
Nice.
Very
And
cool.
what did you prefer? Which launch did you prefer, gentlemen?
I like the vertical, but he didn't step on the line, and so it went flying everywhere. So we didn't. The rocket started flying at me.
Oh, wow.
Scared.
So we're gonna do the horizontal test when they get back from lunch, and then we're gonna try to do the stop rockets if I can find a 2-liter soda bottle.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, please send us some videos or pictures of the stomp rocket. That's
We
exciting.
might have to wait till tomorrow, but I'll send you guys some stuff.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas County Central coming in strong.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
I'm trying to see if somebody else is ready. Ursuline, Chelsea, CTE, Duval. Anybody ready? Frank Sinatra? Got something going on there? Oh, I think
We do.
Frank-
We'll just be a few minutes.
Okay, let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh. Well, I see a lot of movement, but I don't see anybody ready. DC Everest, you guys ready? Yes? All right.
oh, look at that.
I see some artistic designs going on,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
but they're not unmuting.
You guys are welcome.
There you go,
Bye.
bummer, right?
Okay, we want to.
There you go, you're up.
Double launch, Milton.
Double launch. It's like a race. I'm trying to spot them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Think about the ceiling. That's what
Did we lose them?
I think we may
we
have
got 'em
lost
back?
them.
Okay.
All right. Somebody else ready to go? Earthline. I see a lot of movement in Earthline. Let's see if we can get them to chat with us. Hey, hi.
We're diligently working. I'm trying to convince some of my student groups to test.
Yeah, those are some serious rockets. Yeah, let's do it. Come on, try it out. Let's do it. Great school, Ursuline. Just
Oh, I
bring
see a
it.
hand up.
Let's
Come
bring
on
it.
up. Yes. Love the energy. Come on up.
Yeah, look at all those designs. Just try it out. And this is Ursuline School of New York.
Yes.
It's on now.
Very nice.
I think the testing is far from the camera. So that's
Oh,
why I
okay.
think
Uh-oh.
yes,
Uh-oh.
I think the testing is far. But look at all of these designs in the front.
Yeah, they are. They are bringing it. Working hard. Oh, I see it in the back
Mhm.
left corner.
You
Okay.
got it. You want to come up and chat with us? Yeah, we can hear you.
So our payload, we use like all 50 paper clips. 'Cause we wanted to see if it
Nice.
would work. So we tried that, and basically we blew up like the balloon and put a rubber band around it so that we can attach the straw inside of it. So they're getting
Ve-
it.
Very cool. All the paper clips. I heard that. Very nice.
All the paper clips. Let's see. Can you see it? They're getting ready. They're getting in
can see it.
position. All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Try and move the monitor a little bit so that you can see.
Okay, we'll take it.
We can kind of see.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. All right. Ready?
Someone's got a countdown. Who's counting down?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's okay. Just try it again. That's all right. It's all right. Hey, it's happened to
Alright.
me plenty of times.
While they figure it out, Frank Sinatra is ready to share now. So let's go over
Great
to
job,
Frank
Ursuline.
Sinatra.
Great job.
All right, there you go.
Okay, we're gonna share our screen if you don't mind.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah, go for it.
Hold on one second. I'm just trying to figure this out here. Hold on. Where is it?
Hey, great to have you, Mr. Dan and Frank Sinatra, man. It's always good to spend some time with you, sir.
Thank you. Likewise. I told him when you got on the screen, Milton, I said, "Oh, this guy's the best."
What? That's so nice of you. Man, I can leave. That made my day. I'm done today. I don't have anything else I need to accomplish. That was awesome.
All right, you ready? So little background, we're doing a production of Titanic at our school this year. So with that being said, here we go.
Oh. Were you if you're sharing your screen, we're not seeing it.
Oh, you're not
No, we're not
sorry.
seeing it. It's okay.
Hold on. Let me try one more time. Where did it go? Share screen. Desktop one. Oh, and share sound, right? There we
Yes.
go.
Oh,
Optimize.
wow. This is nice.
Okay, open system. Preferences. Is it working yet or no? No, right?
No.
Ah.
All right.
Maybe we could just do a share with the students. I'll walk it around. Is that
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah, that'd be
Yep.
great.
Okay, so this is ED and Dan.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Me? You?
Do you guys want to say hello too?
Yes.
Hey,
Are we, are we
I'm
gonna,
so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you out.
are we gonna show them our video or?
I'm having trouble sharing the video at the moment. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Madden, if you share the video link with us in chat, maybe we'll be able to access it.
Do you have the link?
Yeah, I do have I have the link, yes.
Yeah.
So I will
Excellent.
share it in the chat, but for now, do you guys want to just talk about it a little bit?
Oh,
Yeah.
here, we did, can you grab it, from,
Yeah, sure.
sorry.
Yeah, if you still have the launch system set up, we'll
Yeah.
we're down with taking a look.
And then we attached 3 of the red balloons around it. We put, so it's like a tube and then we put the paper clips inside and
Nice.
like we strapped 3 on and then
Wow.
connected it like with like a triangle system. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. I think what was our time? 0.5?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah,
2.5 seconds. We had 15 paper clips in there. So yeah,
Ooh.
all right.
You put a lot of good thought into this as well. That is really nice.
Yeah,
I
we,
was-
we
Really?
said it was comparable to this like Saturn V because the mass of the rocket was really high. It took off real slow, but then it really.
And then
Yeah.
so it actually spun a little because one of our balloons was slightly uneven, so it spun a little. So we lost a bit of energy with that, but we still made it to the top of the line.
Very nice. Man, I want to see that. Man,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, you're right. Saturn V, heavy, slow stalling, but powerful. Very
Yep.
powerful.
Of course, but you know what was also, hello, I'm Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Hello. And I'm a big fan of NASA.
Sorry.
In
Sorry.
September,
Okay.
December of 2021, I used to look at videos of the NASA space shuttle. The space shuttles consist of the orbiter, which is the first part, the part that looks like an airplane. It's a space plane. And then this is the hydrogen burn-off system when it's getting ready to take off. And the excess hydrogen leaking from the engines. And then the fuel engines turn on.
That's
And
awesome,
then
man.
stop.
And you're an expert. We got to hire you for sure. Hey,
Yeah,
Frank
so-
Sinatra, whenever you all get the video ready, we'll come back to you.
Yes.
Who's up next?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Duval is ready. I want to make sure I pin the right group because there's a bunch of Duvals. Is this the right group? Miss Wimblish, you ready? Yes?
Yes, we are ready to launch.
All
All
right.
right, let's do it.
Let me see. You ready, Kevin?
I just need someone to like do the timing, so I know how often.
I'm sorry.
I need to know the time, so I need someone to.
You're on camera now. You're live. You're live. I'm sorry. I thought he told me he was ready.
All right, no
All right, we'll
worries.
come back. We'll come back.
We'll
It happens to everybody, right?
That's right.
I see. Is Challenge Prep Academy ready? I see somebody at the camera, but I'm not sure if they're ready. Yes?
So, we were ready, but, the balloon popped.
Oh,
We're ready. We're ready again.
All right.
oh,
All right.
all right, all right. All right.
Thomas County said they're ready again. Nice. Okay.
We're waiting on you, Kevin.
There it is.
Go for it, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. Get it right. Get it right. Make sure the exit system, you got some good air coming out the exit. Yo, Nate, no, that's all right. It's got a little height. No, that was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Thank you, Kevin.
No, that's pretty good.
Thank
Good job,
you,
Kevin.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to see, is Challenge Prep ready yet? I see a lot of movement there. Chelsea CTE, do you have somebody who wants to share? And if not, Milton, did you see what we got from Laurel High School?
I did not.
It's
Okay, from Los Fresnos, we're gonna try to show a video of one of our launches.
all
From Los
right.
Fresnos. Okay, hang on. Here's a student here. Let me see here.
Hell no.
Let me see if we can see this.
Oh.
Oh,
We can see
that's
it.
innovative. Yeah, we can see
Yeah,
it.
Okay, hang on just a minute. Let me see if I can get the reflection out.
we are actually seeing pretty well, right?
Yep,
Can you?
yep. Looks good. Looks
Looks
good.
good.
I'll just.
Okay, let me see. Let me hold it steady. Okay, ready? You ready? You want to hit it? Oh,
It's
yes,
playing. It's playing.
going. It's
playing.
going. It's an interesting setup. I think two long, or is it three? Three long propulsion systems, and then a large
She's fixing the
circular
phone
one
right
in
now.
the middle. All right. Okay, so they backed up. That must mean this thing is really going to take off. You don't back up if this thing isn't really going to take off. So they're setting the expectation, right? That it is going, what is that, a 20-foot ceiling? Is it a 20 foot, 25 feet?
16.
Oh, okay, 16 feet. All right. So they're telling all the other high schools, those 8-foot ceilings, nope, no comparison, 16 feet. 16 feet.
Yeah, it's gonna go right now.
There it goes.
Nice. Very nice. Very
you go.
nice.
There you
Great job.
Thank
Who
you
else?
for
Los
sharing.
Fresno's High School.
Anybody else?
Man, we're getting some good rocket launches today. In the Q&A now, this is really good.
Hey,
Okay.
Dr. Mark Lewis, career and technical high school.
All right.
Okay, and Frank Sinatra also shared a video. We may have a couple videos to show here, Monica.
You guys
Nice.
ready?
Put the cameras down.
Down more.
That's another high ceiling. That's another high ceiling. Looks
These
like they're
designs are
setting it up.
I don't know.
Oh.
We can see you. Hey. Hi.
I'm trying to flip the screen.
We were when you had the other way, we could see the launch.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're good. There they are.
Is it Android or iPhone? I'll tell you what to do. You swipe up, swipe left. Which one?
All right, let's see. Looks like they're ready to launch. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Just keep trying. Just keep trying. It's all right.
We have another one in Thomas County if you want to watch it. They don't feel
You guys ready?
comfortable talking about it, but they wanted to show it.
You guys ready? You guys are ready? Okay, we have another group ready.
We have another group
Okay,
ready. All
okay.
right, let's see it.
You guys gotta launch it. I'm not gonna launch it for you.
That's right. Can't launch it for you. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Oh,
Looks like they're setting up.
all right. Launch pad is ready, I think.
Very nice.
Nice. It made it.
Oh, nice. Great stuff.
The computer is in the way.
I think the computer may be in the way. Okay.
2, 1.
Oh man,
Oh.
sheesh. We got you got one more left. You got one more?
left.
What?
Oh.
No, great try. No, oh man.
Good try
Okay.
there. Thank you so
Okay.
much. All right. Challenge prep, are you guys ready? Let's see if they're ready.
Oh, yes.
All right.
All right, so go ahead, Trey.
All right, so we had multiple tests, and it didn't really end up well, but we're going to test one right here.
All right,
Okay.
let's go.
All right.
All right, let's see. I don't know. 3, 2, 1. Oh,
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 all right. That's okay.
it happens.
it's okay.
Hey, nice,
It's all right.
nice Christmas sweater. I'm a big Snoopy
Thank
fan.
you, thank you, thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Fan. Yeah. Take me back to my roots there. Take me back to my roots. Hey, can we get one successful launch before we transition? We have a video to show,
I was
right,
gonna say
Monica?
there's some videos of some successful launches. They're in your chat, Milton.
Okay, let me try to share one. Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna hit. Oh wait, this is
This is the Frank Sinatra Titanic theme.
it's in slow motion. Look at it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I said one successful. Come on, guys. This was supposed to be one
That
success.
was successful. She started, if you
Successful. I love the music, the artistry. You know, you got to get that from that. The
that's
artistry,
Frank Sinatra for you.
background music, just killing it. Just killing it. Do we have one more?
We do have one more.
All right.
All
One
right.
more.
Miss Platt, we're gonna spotlight you again. Oh, look at this one.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, yes,
Okay. Nice. Nice.
that
Very
was
good.
awesome. Great job. Great job.
Very nice. Now all the videos are coming in, Monica. They're all coming
Yes.
out. One more. I'll do one more video. This is the last one. All right.
All right.
All right. Let me share. I hope it works out. If it doesn't work, you all, I'm gonna be sad. Okay. I'm gonna be sad. Okay. Okay. Nice. Excellent. 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 Great.
I
Well,
don't
that
know
was
if you'll be
really,
able to
really
see this.
good. Man, they are clamoring. They're
I
coming.
think
Oh,
Thomas
oh,
County is trying to show
okay.
one. Let me spotlight them, Milton. Hold on. Oh, let's see. You're on mute. There. Oh, they got a video. But they're on mute. I don't know if they're talking. Oh, another horizontal launch. Very
Okay.
nice.
Very cool.
Very
Did
nice.
he hit play?
He did.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
it was a successful
Oh,
horizontal
I'm
launch,
sorry,
It was
Milton.
so
I forgot
fast.
to unmute. Sorry about that.
We couldn't hear you, but we saw it.
We saw it. Yeah.
Our design was.
Excellent job. Excellent job. All right. Well, I have just a couple things to highlight for you all before we wrap up. Just a little inspiration here. Let me share my screen. Sounds like a rocket going over across my house. Can you all see it? Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So I did receive a bunch of questions in the chat about how are space missions developed. So there's something that scientists, work on over decades, which is called a decadal story, decadal survey, which is just what are the next missions we want to investigate. And one thing we tried to investigate a lot is about the sun and the impact of the sun's kind of solar flux on the Earth. And we want to protect it to make sure that, we're not like Mars, we're like Earth, right? That's a huge thing. So this magnetosphere that you see here is what protects us from the crazy solar radiation. And that's the difference between Mars having life and not having life and Earth having life. And this is one of the missions that we worked on called the magnetosphere multi-scale mission. We also worked on it just because we wanted to learn about magnetic reconnection. Like, how do you harness this energy from that magnetic sphere, which is crazy. You see, you started with a design, like you all started with a rocket design today and you killed it. Our design was 4 satellites in a stack. That's how we launched, because we wanted 4 satellites to work together to make these measurements. You can see some of the units I worked on when I was much younger. And we also got a lot of people involved. Like, we got some folks from Denmark involved. I went over to Denmark to work on some star trackers with some of our compadres over there. After you have the design, you build it, you assemble it, you integrate it. We're in a clean room. This is where you go and be like in a bunny suit, working on the spacecraft. And then we bring everything together. That was a tall feat. And then you got to test it. When you launch, you get all this crazy force when you launch. And when you're orbiting around the Earth, there's a lot of hot and cold cycles that could break it. There's a lot of radiation. So we try to test it like you all did. Test before you get on camera. We test before we fly, right? So we shake it. That's for shaking. We bake it, we radiate it, and we electrify it. And then finally, we integrate all the components from all across the world. We ship it to the launch site, install it in the satellite, in the rocket, and then we launch. And then, just like you all were doing, we're hoping and praying that this thing works. I mean, sheesh, you're just hoping and praying. And this is showing just the vehicle. Actually, the 4 satellites being released finally after it launched, which was a big deal. We're pretty scared about that. And then after that, I'll end here. You show it kind of out there in
Each one
space,
gets deployed
actually being able to
sequentially,
be deployed,
and then you will
and
see
operated,
the deployments that we have.
Pretty
We have
cool,
3
pretty
different
big deal
types of
for us.
deployments.
You see all these different
first one
deployments
is our
happening. Every time we have a
magnetometer boom.
deployment, it's a big deal.
It's
There's
on the underside of the
nobody can go out there and
spacecraft.
fix it or
You'll see
unleash
the
something.
hinge
It's
locks
all got to
open up,
happen
and
autonomously.
then the booms will.
And then you have some success and you're excited, and this is me as a very young engineer. You see the project managers and the systems engineers and the CSO up front. I'm way back there in the background. But hey, a lot of success. And what we're hoping for you all is that, you see in this process, you just keep trying. You learn from lessons, you never give up, and you just do your best. And I think now we have an opportunity to transition to our guest speaker who should be on. And I'm going to
Not
okay,
yet.
not quite yet.
Not
All
quite
right.
yet.
That's
So
all right.
I don't know if you wanted to tap on the NASA internships, because we had a lot of interest in those internships from NASA, a lot of interest with NASA today. If you want to
Oh,
hear
let's
some,
do it. Well, and then maybe we could talk a little bit about career paths, right?
yes.
There are a lot of different paths to becoming in the tech field. And some people think it's all about just going to college, which is nothing wrong with getting a 4-year degree. But me personally, when I graduated from high school, I didn't have a lot of money, right? And didn't have a scholarship. I didn't really even know about that stuff. So I started at a junior college, a community college. And from that community college, I was, learning, developing, some skills, develop some technical skills. And after I finished there about a year and a half or so, I moved on to a 4-year college. So there's a lot of paths. So even if you don't want to be an engineer, you can be a technician. We have these technicians. They're the ones that do the really cool work, right? They're the ones that assemble all the instruments. They're the ones that build the large satellite, right? All the electronics, the wiring, they're the ones that are responsible for all of that. Our technicians are the ones that do a lot of 3D printing and additive manufacturing. The the computer aided design. A lot of technicians are involved with that. So and they're paid very well, paid very well. So, but me, I ended up transferring from a 2-year college called Calumet, and I transferred over to a 4-year college at Purdue, West Lafayette. Like I said, go Boilers, boiler up. And I was there, I was working at NASA for a while. And then I realized I really wanted to specialize in something, right? Engineering was great, but I wanted to kind of go to the next level. So I went over to grad school, which my job paid for, which was really great, at Johns Hopkins, and I majored in robotics. So I got some mastery work done in robotics and some mastery work completed in project management and systems engineering. And that is what helped me become kind of a project manager for Awesome One, the on-orbit servicing, assembly, and manufacturing mission 1. And I've been working on that mission for a long time. But we finally have the spacecraft in-house at Goddard. And in a couple months, we're going to be integrating some robotic arms to that spacecraft. So some other things that I've worked on, like across my career, I get those questions as well, and I'm monitoring the chat. Other things that I've worked on are like LiDARs and 3D imagers. These LiDARs are like, it's almost like what you have in a Tesla to make it self-driving, right? You can kind of look around, it kind of looks around and sees everything in its environment. This GPS receiver, you have GPS receivers in your phone, but this one works outside of the constellation, and even some reaction wheels, okay? I think now you are ready to hear from the outstanding Sabrina Thompson. So let me pull up a quick presentation on her. You all did an outstanding job today as well. But you're really going to be excited about our guest speaker. She is an absolute game changer in the field. Sabrina Thompson is the founder and CEO of Girl in Space Club. She's also a flight dynamics lead. So when I talked about in-space servicing and assembly, flight dynamics and guidance, navigation, and control make all of that happen. I mean, that's a big, big thing for them. Not only is she an engineer, but she's an author, artist, and atmospheric physicist. Look at those A's: author, artist, atmospheric physicist. She has a bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Stony Brook, a master's in aerospace from Georgia Tech. Come on, Georgia Tech. And she was recently featured in the National Geographic 2023 space issue. Can we give a big round of applause for my colleague and friend, Sabrina Thompson?
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Milton. I'm going to ask if you guys can share the slide presentation, if that's all right.
Absolutely. Monica, you have that, right?
And while we're pulling that up, do you want to start? Just give them a little bit about your background while we're pulling up those slides.
Yeah, sure. So I've been working at NASA for January would actually make 14 years.
Wow.
It goes by fast.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah. So, I started out in safety. So, I lasted there for about a year. And then I saw the cool stuff that was going on the engineering side. And I've been there ever since. All right, cool. All right. So let's just jump in. So I named the title of my presentation, Turning Dreams into Reality, because I believe whatever path or whatever you decide to do, I think sometimes when we get older, we forget to dream. And I've always been a person who believed in following my dreams. So I'm going to tell you about my story, but in the context of following my dreams. All right. Yeah. All right. So Milton went through all of my credentials and my background a bit from a high level perspective already. So I could skip this slide, but one thing I do want to, if you go back, One thing I do want to highlight here is that, you know, when you dive into the tech space, there are a lot of opportunities to actually become an inventor. So I was awarded a U.S. patent for some work that I did at NASA with a colleague of mine. He actually came out of Milton's branch, Dr. Sean Semper. And, you know, a lot of times the work that we do, it's not like, I have this written here on my slide, but it's literally like a team effort. So everything we do, I want you to think, you know, it's never me doing it by myself. Okay. And it shouldn't be the same for you as well. All right. So I'm going to talk to you in the context, of course, of space, since that's what this is all about. And since my favorite and my bread and butter is trajectory design, I'm going to talk to you in that context. Next slide. All right. So at this point, you should probably know that there's probably more than one way to reach a destination. So let's say you're a spacecraft and you want to leave Earth and head to Mars. I want you to think of this in the context of the story I'm going to tell you. Think of me as a spacecraft. Think of Earth as everything we know, everything you're comfortable with, right? School, home, you know, your environment. And I want you to think about Mars as a place that you dream of. This destination that you really don't know how to get there, or there are multiple ways to get there, but there's not really one pathway. So I'm going to take you on the trajectory that I took to get to where I am today. Next slide, please. So I started out in a place called Roosevelt. So this is where I was born and raised. It's a little town on Long Island. If you're not familiar with any famous people who've come out of there, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, Flavor Flav, people who are probably too old for you guys to know who they are, Julius Erving. But when I was growing up, I was a very shy kid. And I literally played basketball. Next slide. If you didn't see me playing basketball, I was making art. Next slide. And other than that, I was pretty good at the school thing, right? So I was smart. I was the valedictorian of my school. And next slide. I also had a fashion sense. So I was the kid who would come to school with a new pair of Jordans every time they came out. Every little bit of money that I got my hands on, I wanted to buy a pair of shoes or sneakers. But the thing was, although if you go back, so the thing is, when I was in high school, I didn't know what I could do with the science and the math. And it wasn't until my senior year, I was actually the valedictorian of my school. And I literally didn't know where I was going to go to college. And it was very embarrassing. So my art teacher actually came to the rescue, and she suggested that since I was good at math and science and I was also creative, she suggested that I actually pursue engineering. And so I took her advice. Next slide. And I ended up getting a full ride, a full academic scholarship to SUNY Stony Brook. And I studied mechanical engineering there. And I will tell you, my first semester there was really tough because I had no clue how to study. High school was so easy for me that I didn't study. And so for the first time in my life, the first year taking calculus, I actually almost failed and almost lost my scholarship because I had to maintain at least a 3.0 GPA. But I quickly learned how to study. And by that second semester of my freshman year, I had caught on to learning how I learn. And I think that's really important. So it took me all the way till college to learn how I learn. Next slide, please. And so I played on the women's basketball team, and I also was a part of NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. And that's where I gained access to internship opportunities. So literally every summer I had an internship. I interned at Honda of America. I interned at Brookhaven National Laboratory. And then I also did some CAD work for a local company. So by the time I was done in Stony Brook, you know, one thing I noticed is that when it was time to do the internships in the summer, I was so ready. I was done with school. I just, you know, I was tired of taking the classes. But then by the end of the summer, when my internships were over, I was ready to go back to school. So like any kid who doesn't really know what they wanted to do, I went back to school again. So I didn't go into the workforce. I went to Georgia Tech, and this is where I studied aerospace engineering. And it was there that I actually I gained some really good friends who I'm close with today, who are running tech companies. These are people who were amazing. But on top of that, this is where I was introduced to NASA. So if you go to the next slide, I did an internship at NASA Glenn in Cleveland, Ohio. And I got exposed to a lot of things that NASA did. I was sold. As you can see in one of the pictures there, we visited SpaceX in California way before SpaceX was who they are today. And so you can see the Dragon capsule in the background. But after this internship, next slide, I was sold and I landed a job 6 months later at NASA Goddard. Next slide, please. And so it was there that I started working on in the navigation and mission design branch. And I started learning a lot about spacecraft. And one thing I will tell you, although I had a degree in aerospace engineering, it was looking at aerospace systems from a systems engineer perspective. So what that means is I did not know how to design orbits until I actually started working at NASA. I didn't even know my job existed until I started working at NASA. Next slide, please. So I worked on small satellites called CubeSats, which you all are probably familiar with at this point. Next slide. And I've also worked on a few missions where I actually worked on the ground control. So I worked on MMS, the Magnetospheric Multiscale mission. And that was a mission where we were actually investigating magnetic fields between the sun and the earth. And I also worked on a mission that I believe it's supposed to launch next year called PACE. And so PACE is a mission that's going to tell us a lot about the one thing which you would think we would know a lot about, but we don't, which is the oceans, right? And how our whole Earth system, oceans, the clouds, and all these things play a role in climate change and how we might be able to mitigate it. And then lastly, I've worked on satellite constellations. So these are like small spacecraft that function together to basically look at things on the Earth in this case, in a way like that you can't do it one spacecraft. So they're looking at like something in the clouds at different angles, and together they function as an actual instrument. Next slide, please. But while at NASA, I didn't stop learning. So just recently, I finished up a degree at UMBC, and that's where I got a degree in atmospheric physics. So I was able to get the degree from there while working full-time at NASA. Now, what made me want to go back to school while working full-time, which is a lot of work, I noticed that in my work at NASA that I kept asking the question, well, why am I designing this orbit to, you know, get this information? Why do we care about making these observations, right, on Earth or whatever planet we were looking at? And so when you start asking those why questions, it lends you to the science side. And so next slide, please. So I was able to merge the science and the engineering side of things by expanding my education onto the science side. And so I was able to get a paper entered into a journal, which is huge on the science side. So that meant that that meant that I was able to actually do research that contributed to the science community. And so long story short, now I work on projects at NASA where I do get to work on the science and also on the engineering side. And for those of you who are not really clear of how huge this is, scientists and engineers literally speak a different language. So to go from an engineer to then the science side, like literally I was diving into a totally different world and had to learn a different language. And so what you see here on this slide is my contribution, combining the idea of using the satellite constellations with this particular science instrument to be able to make observations that we've never been able to get before. So this is an instrument that's actually going to be on the PACE mission. Next slide, please. So up until now, there's been some loops and not a clear path to my dream, if you will. And most people would say, oh, well, you work at NASA, that should be it, right? Your dream has come true. Well, not quite, right? I feel like there's definitely more. And yeah, let's see what else I have in store. So I told you in the beginning, I literally was either on the basketball court or I was making art. And so now that I wasn't in school anymore, I actually had time to dedicate to see if I still had it, like if I could still make art. I put the paintbrush down and the colored pencils down all throughout college. I just didn't have time for it. So it was only until recently, right? Like working at NASA that, oh, I work a 9 to 5. I have all these extra hours outside of work. Let's see if I still have it. And so, thank you. So this is some of the art that I've made, and you can see a recurring theme here. Next slide. So one thing that was always important to me was to give back to the community and to definitely share my knowledge, because there's no sense in me, as far as I see it, gaining all this knowledge and learning how things work and building things if you don't share. I mentioned to you I was in 12th grade when I found out what an engineer was. And, I struggled a little bit, especially as I mentioned, my first year in college and even beyond, just because I didn't have that background coming in. And so now it's really important to me to expose youth to STEM early as elementary school. And so I created this program called Stimulating Art, where I teach youth STEM concepts using art projects. So literally you'll learn something about STEM, but you'll do it in an artsy way. And as you can see from the picture here, we actually have the youth design footwear using art and craft material, but they do it not just to make footwear, but you literally are designing footwear for astronauts to explore the lunar surface. And at the same time, you're learning Newton's laws of motion. Next slide, please. And so here are just a few pictures of the cool designs that some of the kids have come up with. Next slide. Now, again, I could have stopped here as well, right? And just, did my role, played my role at NASA and, give back to the youth. But there was just something else in me, right? And, it's like, I remember finishing up at UMBC and feeling like I just want to make art. I just want to make art and still not feeling that satisfaction. But then it dawned on me, I would go into schools wearing a flight suit, and it was difficult to find one that fit me. And then I paid more to get the suit tailored than I paid for the actual suit. But then I started having these conversations with other women in the space industry and pilots, astronauts, and we all came up with this thing that made wearing a flight suit so annoying. And it was as simple as just going to the bathroom. And so I thought, well, no way. No one has ever come up with a way to, make a flight suit that will make it easier for women to go to the bathroom and make it more comfortable for women to wear. And so I just was like, okay, well, clearly this has to be done. So last October, November, I was able to raise almost $81,000 with the help of so many wonderful people to bring to life a concept for a flight suit that we actually manufactured and started to sell. But most people don't realize, though, that wasn't the real ending of the story. So it says women's space travel suit. So literally, like, we haven't made the space travel suit yet, but the flight suit is the phase 1 of that. So, yep, next slide. So as of now, we have started outfitting what we call analog astronauts. These are astronauts who actually do space missions on the ground. So we started with outfitting an all-female crew who simulated a Mars mission in Utah. That was this past spring. Next slide. So these are just some pictures of them. You can go to the next slide, where they were actually simulating what it would be like to live on Mars, living in a confined place. And so they gave us a lot of feedback on our suits. Next slide. And so after that, we were getting requests for other analog missions to provide them with flight suits. And so one thing I didn't mention is that we did go ahead and file for a patent for these suits. So if you could see the astronaut that's kind of turned sideways, you can see her profile. If you look along her leg, there's like some lining there, and that's where the flight suit opens up. So it's like a latch. So basically a flap. So the flap just opens up in the back, and it attaches to 2 snaps that are on the belt loops. And so something as simple as that, we have been able to start the process of filing for a patent. So it's patent pending at the moment, but it provides a great solution, and it was taken in so well by the community that the men even wanted, they wanted us to make it. So if you go to the next slide, we just recently outfitted this entire crew, the Camoins mission, which is a mission that was actually in a cave. And so this cave mission occurred like over the Thanksgiving holiday in Portugal. And literally, this was the first time they were doing a mission in this cave. And a lot of if you go to the next slide, yep, so that's the crew. If you go to the next slide after that, yep. So a lot of the research that they did, we don't have results for anything yet. So they collected a lot of specimen. They collected, and then they did a bunch of experiments like right outside the cave. But they even tested our flight suits. So this was the first time we made flight suits where it had knee and elbow reinforcements. And so it was really cool, and they got a lot of publicity. So we're looking forward to finding out like what what comes of the research that they performed. So, and then as Milton already mentioned, we were able to get some publicity for the suit, which was awesome and unexpected. Next slide. And so, you know, this story, or at least my story, is a story of blending both sides of the brain. You know, sometimes people mention, okay, well, if you pick the tech side, then you're literally not picking the art side, right? You can't do both. And so I want you to see that I'm a living testament that you can do both. And it doesn't have to look a particular way. Literally, I'm charting my own path to Mars, if you will. Next slide. And so again, you know, I look at Earth as reality. You know, when people tell you to, you know, come back down to Earth, right? Go with things that make you comfortable, with things that you're familiar with, the things that come easy. And sure, that is something you can do. But for people like me, that just doesn't work. And so, you know, you can see from my life, and I didn't go too deep into all the challenges and things like this, but it is not easy. But I can tell you that it's rewarding, and I can tell you that there's growth involved, and I can tell you that, you know, when you dive into the unknown, that's when you discover things that and you go places that other people haven't gone, and so you become a trailblazer. Next slide. And so, you know, my question to you all is, you know, what path will you choose? And there's no right or wrong, right? But it's just to say that you don't have to fit in, and it's okay not to. It's okay to chart your own path. And even if it takes you on a few loop-de-loops to get to your destination and to realize your dream, you know, that's a part of the process. Next slide. And so I'll just leave you with this quote by Colin Powell. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. That's it. So thank you so much.
That was absolutely outstanding. Can we clap it up for Sabrina? Truly, truly inspirational. Oh, look at those hand claps. Truly inspirational. Can we have you for a few more minutes? Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. I got a couple for you. You saw a bunch of questions came in before the session, so we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna dive right in where you ended. You talked about this. You know, maybe for what you're willing to share, what were some challenges that you experienced as a person of color? How did you overcome? How did you
Yeah.
use your voice?
Yeah. So I think, you know, in the beginning, we're talking about Stony Brook days. I didn't fit in. You know, I never felt like I fit in. And I can't say it was contributed to the fact that I was a woman, or because I'm a woman of color, or just from the simple fact that I didn't solve or think about solving problems the way a lot of my colleagues did.
Wow.
Because I'm more naturally, you know, like thinking with the creative side of the brain, right? I don't think in numbers. I think in pictures. So
That's good.
I would say the things that helped me to overcome, I never did it alone. There were always mentors. There were always colleagues. You know, if I didn't know how to address something, you know, I would go to someone who I trusted, and they would literally, you know, we would figure out how to address the issue. But the one thing about me is, you know, if somebody told me no, I would, or if a door closed, I would always figure out a way to go around. So that is one thing about me.
That's really good. That's really good. So here's another one. Your career is really taking off. What do you think is the key to your rise? You like to play on taking off too, right? Look at that.
Right. Nice. I would say, you know, when you realize purpose, which might take some time, right? But for me, it just took me going back in time and thinking about, well, what did I do when I was a kid where I would get lost in time? And, it was like I could do that for, over and over, like all the time. And it was really just coming up with ideas. And that's just something that's natural to me. So once I started operating there, doors just started opening and the things just started happening. Like,
That's excellent.
yeah.
That's really good. Another question they asked is, could you share some insights into challenges with developing orbits and trajectories? What makes that really hard?
Okay, so I'm going to paint this picture for you real quick. So, you saw in the presentation, it's like, okay, let's say we're trying to get to Mars from Earth. You have this rotating Earth, right? Rotating about its own axis, but also orbiting the sun. And then you have this other moving body, Mars. And you want to launch from, let's just say, Kennedy Space Center. And you want to land at a specific location on Mars. So you have all of these moving pieces, right? And it's like, you have to understand the dynamics of how everything is moving. And so you have to launch at the right time.
Right time.
Otherwise, you might have to wait. It depends. It could be a couple years. It could be, you know what I mean? But literally, it's the dynamics, literally, that make it a bit difficult.
That's so true. I mean, and like you said, you don't have control. Nobody can go out in space and fix it for you. It's pseudo autonomous.
Yep.
Duval asked the question, what suggestions do you have for scholars to get mentors? Because you talked about the power of mentorship and internships.
So these days you have LinkedIn, okay? Like when I was a student, we didn't have LinkedIn. So literally, like if I was a student today, I would be on LinkedIn. I would find somebody who is on a trajectory, like on a pathway or doing something that you're really interested in. And I would shoot them a message on LinkedIn and I would just there.
That's great. Ursuline School of New York asked, while you're answering that, were there opportunities to intern at NASA when you started at NASA? How was the internship game back then?
So I was actually an intern as a graduate student. So I was a part of this program called the NASA Space Academy. And so I don't know if they still have the Space Academy around anymore.
I haven't heard about that. Look at you. I'm learning new stuff about you every day. Look at that.
I was a part of the Space Academy. So the way I joined NASA, it wasn't through a co-op, right? Which is a easier route to get in. But I was exposed to a lot of what NASA did. So we went to different NASA centers. We went to contractor sites, like I showed in the presentation, like SpaceX. But literally, that was it. One summer I was sold, and then I knew where I was going to work, and I just kept applying via what is it? Not NASA.gov.
USA Jobs.
Yes, thank you. USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The questions are coming in. Now there's a school out here called Frank Sinatra School of Arts. So they right up your alley. And they asked if your art became an outlet to relieve stress in tough times and help look forward.
Absolutely. That's actually what art was for me. When I was a kid, I remember maybe I was in middle school. I had an uncle who asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said, I want to be a famous artist, right? And he told me, he said, well, maybe you should use that as a plan B and make some money, right? I I couldn't comprehend it then what that meant, but one thing I'm very protective of is my art. So I like to draw, I like to paint, and I like to share. And so for me, it's imperative that I'm able to do that, whether, regardless of, being able to combine the two worlds, right? The STEM and the art. I keep a little bit for myself just to be able to have that therapy when I'm painting. I put the music on and I get in my zone. And then, I'll share, like literally sometimes I'll just give artwork away, right? Because it did what I do for me, right? Like during the process of making it, that was the therapeutic part. And then, once it's done, I don't have a need for it anymore. So usually I give it away.
That's great. I'm only going to do two more questions. These just came in. Ursuline School of New York asked, have you designed an EVA spacesuit for women? And I think you touched on this, these extravehicular activity suits, extravehicular activities. This is work done outside the spacecraft. So is that part of the plan? Is that that's the next step?
So the next step is actually they call it an IVA, right? Like an intravehicular suit. So if you think about the suit that that SpaceX, the SpaceX folks wear. So not the SpaceX folks, but when the astronauts are using the SpaceX vehicle, they wear what you call a launch and entry suit. And so these are suits that they only wear inside the vehicle, and it's able to, the suit pressurizes so that in the event that the pressure changes inside the vehicle, the suit is their protection from cabin, pressure leaks and things like this. So that's the next step for us, because we know that the space industry, the way in which it's going right now, they're going to be way more astronauts going to space. And so we want to make sure that they're safe going up there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Sabrina, we've never gotten this. There are so many questions rolling in. I'll try to slip one more in. How do you separate your job from your passions? And then I guess Martin Van Buren is coming up next. My cat is on my desk also trying to ask you questions real quick. I mean, what is going on here today? So that question was, how do you separate your job from your passions? It's almost like a balance question, and I'll come right to you, Martin Van Buren.
So you have to realize, like, sometimes you're not going to have balance. That's just how it is. I can't sit here and tell you a story. Sometimes I don't have balance, and sometimes I have to tell myself that it's temporary, because then there are other times where I have to put my foot down and give myself the balance that I need. But I'm a person where my brain, my mind is always going, and it's hard for me to turn up. Like, I just look out in nature and I'm coming up with ideas of stuff. So it's real hard.
That's deep. The influence of nature. That's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. Martin Van Buren, this is your time. You got 1 minute. There it is.
All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Amalia. I actually thought this was like a recording that was playing in the background, and it's actually a call, and I was like, what? But my question is, what motivated you guys to become like engineers and all of this stuff, and what is your passion for everything that you take part in?
Sabrina's the star. Let me let her answer it.
I would say, as an engineer, you get to build things that don't exist. Like, you literally get to take these ideas out of your head and build prototypes or build things that become, more than a prototype. Like, we are literally, like building solutions to help solve like problems of today, like to help make the world a better place. So in a way, I kind of feel like a superhero sometimes.
That's cool. That's good. Great. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll end it here and I'll answer the question, but I'll answer it with Sabrina's answer. It's really this one right here, Earth is reality, but Mars was a dream. I came from a background that was really rough, and I wanted to do something that was out of this world. It just was the inspiration for me. So Sabrina, this is just a couple of lessons I learned from you. It's a team effort. You don't do it by yourself. That was so good. You're not stuck. You can change your trajectory. You started with safety at NASA, then you switched over to flight dynamics, then you switched over to being an artist, and you got a patent, you're CEO, right? And then finally, give back. You know, the people that are in front of you, you know, everything you've done behind you, you pay it forward. So I just want to say on behalf of Engineering Tomorrow, thank you so much for giving this time. The presentation was outstanding. I hope you all were inspired, and we would love to see you in our next Engineering Tomorrow lab coming to you soon. Monica, do you want to you want to wrap us up and talk to us about our next lab? And can we clap it up for Sabrina one more time? Great. Great
Round of
job.
applause for
I'm so
Sabrina
proud
and
of you,
round of applause for
Sabrina.
Milton for leading such a great, amazing space day. This was amazing. So round of applause to Sabrina, round of applause to Milton, but round of applause to our teachers and students for participating today, for the amazing engagement, amazing questions, and the amazing videos and launches. We love seeing the successful ones. We love seeing the failures. And
That's
don't
right.
forget that you guys who were here today have the opportunity to participate in that extension. So please, if you participate in that extension, make sure you send us some videos and some pictures. We want to see that. And don't forget that our next event is December 19th, and we're going to be doing our machine learning event.
Ooh.
So another reminder is